It's grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, Lil Flop. I asked a question recently, and the question was, when, in what watch does the thief come? Because as we know, Yahusha said, if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief comes, he would have watched, and he would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Now we know that a house or a tabernacle or a temple is the body, your house, your abode. You see? And that's why Yahusha said, if a man keep my sayings and do them, then me and my Father will come to him and make our abode with him. See? So that house, he says, will be broken up by a thief. So your state of being will be broken apart. And broken apart means in despair, depressed, confused, in agony, misery, because that's the feelings that you feel when someone steals something from you, especially something that you longed for. So he says you can prevent that, you good man of the house. You see, the good man of the house would be right thought. You see, you can prevent that by keeping watch, especially at a certain time. Now, it wouldn't do me any good to tell you all this and not tell you of that certain time that the thief comes. That certain watch when he comes. Well, let's go to the book of Revelation so we can reveal something. In the book of Revelation, we read about a woman who was crowned with 12 stars, the sun at her head and the moon at her feet. She travailed and pained to bring forth. Do you see, little flock, about travailing? Like I've been talking to you about these last days. The man and the woman, they come together. They become one. They produce a conception, you see. And then that child grows and it grows and it grows. And at an unexpected watch or an unexpected time, as Yahushua said, for you know not when the Son of Man come, he come at an hour in which you think not. Do you hear it, little flock? The Son. So that's the conception, the one that was conceived. So do you understand? Your thoughts and your feelings come together and they conceive. And that's the Son of Man, that conception. Do you understand? Now it's going to take as long as it takes to ripen before it's ready to be plucked. Or in the case of a child, in a case of 9 months usually, that child will come forth at an unexpected hour. You don't know. You can have a due date all you want. That doesn't mean the child's going to come on that due date. Am I right? Child's going to come when the child's going to come. Same thing with the fruit on the branch. It's going to ripen when it's going to ripen. Unexpectedly. You'll just happen to look one day and it's right. You've been looking, and it ain't ripe, it ain't right. One day you're just doing something else and you come back and look and it's finally right. Unexpectedly, it just happened. Same thing like the husband who's watching his wife in labor. He's waiting, it's nothing happening. He dozes off. And the next thing he knows, hey, there's the baby, there he is. Oh, he wakes up, oh shit, trying to grab his phone, take pictures. Do you see? Because it happened at an unexpected moment when he thought not. The son came. See what we're saying here with the scriptures, little flock? So then we see that when that son comes, the thief comes. Do you understand it, little flock? In what watch? So it's not the beginning of the labor. That's not when the thief comes. It's not the middle of the labor. She travailed in pain to be delivered, and she brought forth. So we know the point of the labor and when the thief comes. Because according to Revelation, the red dragon stood there to do what, little flock? To devour that son as soon as he be born, it says. So then now we got your ass by the tail, you little rascal called the devil. We know your devices, and we're exposing the main one, which is when your ass shows up. Do you hear it, little flock? It's not that he shows up because something bad is happening. Just like that woman travailing in birth. She's going to have joy because a man-child is born. So the thief is showing up. You see it? It's not because nothing bad happened. It's not because he was, let's see here. He was trying to kill and then he did. That's not what we read. He's trying to kill your manifestation. He's trying to kill your conception. Because watch what I'm telling to you, little flock. If you're a poor man, you have no money, you're living on the street poor, then as a man thinketh, so is he. So then you know that now. So you say, well, let me conceive a thought that I am wealthy and affluent. Well, he conceives it. He feels it. It feels good when he's visualizing it. It feels wonderful. But now he's become one with it. Now he's had the orgasm, which is the great feeling associated with what he was visualizing. And then now the child is conceived. The thief has not been there yet. Doodle-doodle-doodle, can you hear me? Nope. But this poor man's been going and going and going. And right when he's about to enter into his affluence and wealth at an unexpected moment, he didn't even know. He's sitting by a trash can asleep. He doesn't know his blessing is about to come into his life. Well, when that blessing comes into his life, here comes the thief. To stop the conception he has conceived in his mind. Don't you see, little flock? Can't you see that there? Isn't it easy to see what I'm saying to you? Okay, the championship boxer. He's training and training and training and training and training and blah, 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 blah. He gets into the ring. He's fighting the guy. He gets caught with a hell of a shot. He gets dazed. Here comes the thief. Now, he's going to win the fight. But for that moment when he got dazed, here comes the thief. See, yeah, you didn't train hard enough. This guy's stronger than you. He's better than you. He's going to beat ya. Ding, ding, ding. And the winner is still. See? So that was just a lie and a deception to try to steal this moment from me. Don't you hear it? He wants to steal your joy. That's why Yahushua said that the joy that you get, no man taketh away from you. He's proving to you that the joy that you're going to have wants to be stolen. So then when would he want to steal it? When you're birthing it, right before it births into your life. So then what should you actually be feeling? Instead of fear because of that red dragon standing there, what should you actually be feeling? Joy. Joy. Because that's the end. And he always says the end of a thing is better than the beginning. He also said, remember the end of Job. But now do you understand why these things are said? Now do you understand? Because you must go to the end of it. And by faith, believe it is so, even though there is no evidence. So my child, I'm holding my child, enjoying my child, and everything's wonderful. We're both healthy. While I'm sitting there going into labor, I'm thinking that. Now I'll give you guys an example of what I mean. Remember I told you guys about how I got arrested a few years back? I got arrested, and the witness who I've told you guys about was with me, as usual. And so the witness was taken with me when I was taken into jail. The witness was also taken to jail. But soon after being taken in and booked and put into holding cells, the witness was released, which was my only concern, was that the witness be released. So the witness was released, and I saw the witness leaving out. I was still in the holding cell. And when the witness looked at me, I put my arm up like this, and then I put my hoodie back over my head and laid back in the cell. And the witness left. And 38 days later, I was seeing the witness face to face, saying, here I am. After they told me that I would not be out till at least 90 days had passed. You're going to do 90 days, at least. That's what they told me. You see what I mean? So in the beginning, the first day I went in there, I saw the end. I saw the end of me leaving. The results of me leaving was I'm going to actually be there at that house. See how it's over there, that. So now I am there. See how I've traveled and I didn't take a step. Do you see the power that I'm telling you guys about? It takes faith to believe that you're doing that, but you are. It doesn't mean just because you don't have faith in it doesn't believe it's not doing it. You hear what I'm saying to you? The children of Israel enter not in from unbelief. So then if you don't enter in, it's only because you don't believe the power I'm describing to you. So now, like I said, I'm sitting in the cell, but in my mind I say, no, I'm actually here. I'm inside the house that I would be in if I were out. That's where I'm at right now. So then a day passes, 2 days pass, 3 days pass, 4 days pass, 5 days pass. Now watch what I'm about to describe to you. 30-something days have passed. I'm treating every day as if it's the same. Every day before I go to sleep, I'm visualizing myself at that same house, walking up and down the stairs, going in the kitchen, going in the bathroom, doing this, doing that, walking down the street to the store that's at the corner there and doing normal thing I would normally do. That's what I'm doing in my mind as I'm dozing off to sleep. Every single night I'm doing this. Don't you see it, little flock? That's where I am, even though the 3D is trying to convince me that, no, you're here. No, I'm here. You see that? I'm making a simple choice by faith to believe that I'm here. That's why I would tell them I am free. But you're sitting right there, man. They're putting cuffs on your wrist right now and everything. I'm free. It's my choice. And I choose to live by faith, not by sight. Now, brother, when you say they're putting cuffs on me, so I'm what? So I'm what? You're bound. You're in jail. You're. Okay, so are you judging by sight when you come up with those words? Well, yeah, I'm telling you based off of what it looks like, that's what it is. Does the Bible say you should judge that way? Well, no. We'll see how I'm not. Yeah, but it seems crazy. I know. Doesn't the scripture say that you got to be a fool for Christ? Didn't the scripture say that Christ is foolishness to this world? So do you see how I know that what I'm telling you, a lot of you will just perceive as foolishness? You would just say, it's this no way. It doesn't work that way, guy. Okay, well, you keep on believing what you think, which is by sight. That's all else you got. You don't have any other choice. That's why he says serve God or mammon. It wasn't a whole bunch of other names. All them other gods out there other than my father is just all one God to him. Mammon, bull crap. Outward appearance. That's why they make statues of the nigga. You can't make a statue of my father. You can't. You can't imagine the beauty of my father enough to even make a rendition of him. So just don't even try. Don't even do it because you can't. So that's why he told us, don't do it. So we don't. We know our Father. We know him by his voice. That's actually what the scripture says. So then all I need to do is listen. That's all I need to do. So when I say, well, Father, what do I want? I want this. I show him what I want by my imagining, which is my faculty I've been describing to you guys as the operant power that God has put in us, is our imagination. As a man thinketh in his heart. In other words, as a man imagines, so is he. See? So you got to be imagining what you want when you're in a situation that you don't want. That proves that you're having faith. You're utilizing faith. But that's just not enough to visualize it. Like I said, you must feel as though it is. That's the wife. You need the wife to conceive the seed and bear the child for 9 months so that she can birth it. You need feelings. So that's why the enmity is between the serpent and the woman. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. It's between her seed and his seed, which means his seed are bond children of fear. Her seed are free. Read about Sarah. Read about her. He doesn't want you to have the desire of your heart. He doesn't want you to have your joy. He wants you to have temporary vanity, vain death, because the carnal mind is death. That's all he can do. Oh no, take that medicine because you'll die if you don't. See, so your intention for taking the medicine is so that you don't die. That's not how a man doesn't die. It's crazy to think about how the world doesn't understand this. It's very obvious to me. It's very obvious to me because I understand the power. And when you know power, you don't run away. You don't run away from it. You don't shy away from it. You don't know, guys. You accept it and you walk in it because it's what everyone wants. Control, power. Well, I'm telling you what it is. He has given us the spirit of power. That spirit of power is in a hidden place, and it's a fighter in you. It's zeal in you. That's why it's the spirit of power and might, conquering. See that energy just coming off of me? That's inside of me when they said, you're in jail. I'm free. Now what you say? What you say? You can't think for me, so you can only suggest. And I don't need your suggestions because all your suggestions are lies. So then I just will not listen to you. I'm just ornery like that. I have been that way my whole life. All praise to Abba Yah for making me that way. I know it must have been hard on my parents when I was young, though. Just like Paul kicked against the pricks and persecuted Yahusha. And Yahusha like, man, why are you persecuting me, man? Why are you making it hard on me? You're so hard-headed. Yeah, but when he gets in alignment, he won't deviate. Just like he won't deviate when he's wrong, thinking he's right. I know it's right. I know what I'm doing is right. I know. A lot of people thought that. Don't mean that they was, Paul. So it's best we all be converted into the truth, that it's spirit. You can utilize this power I'm talking about. And the only time that it is, the time when it's going to be tumultuous is right before the conception you have conceived come to fruition. That's when you need to be watching for the thief to come. See, now you know. Now, the only one who knows that is the what kind of servant? It said it. Who is a wise and faithful servant, who he shall find doing. So I don't know if you can actually hear that little piece of wisdom. You have to be wise and faithful to hear it. So I'm going to help you along because I love you guys. I want you to be wise and faithful servants. I do. So let me help you be. What does he mean when he finds so doing? He will find him so doing. Find him doing what? Okay, you're in jail. Don't you see the cuffs? Don't you know you're in here? So then say you're in jail. I am free. So now when my manifestation comes to match the I am free, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I'm actually ready because I'm watching for it. I'm not watching for what this other guy has told me that it is. I'm not watching for handcuffs. Handcuffs don't match I'm free. Do they? Do they? Do they? Or do they? A jumpsuit doesn't match a man that's free. So then what was I doing when I was dozing off to sleep? I was putting my civilian clothes back on, my regular clothes back on. The clothes I took off when they took me in, I was putting them back on in my mind as I was dozing off. That's what I did every day. And I'm not lying. That's what I did every day as I dozed off to sleep. I would just put my clothes back on. I put the same things I had on, the jewelry that I had on, everything that I had, my backpack and everything. I was putting that back on and walking out the building. And that's all I did. And I dozed off doing that over and over in my mind. So when he comes, he finds me doing that. Don't you see it? That's a wise, faithful thing I'm doing, isn't it? Oh, goodness gracious. What would you call it? What? A wise and faithful man that's in prison would be saying, I am free, and acting as though he is. Wouldn't that match wise and faithful? He must be wise, which means he understands the power. That's why he's doing it. And he's doing it by faith, which means there's no evidence that he's free. So why is he joyful? See, why does he have this joy that can't be stolen from him? Because he knows the truth, and the truth make you free. That's why. I don't wonder about what I'm saying is true, guys. I'm just straight telling you it is. It's whether you believe it by faith or not. It's whether you believe it. And see, that proves what you believe if you believe by sight, because God has chosen this vessel to give it to you. I told you who are the most hated people on the earth are. You guys don't have to try to make up any stories about other people being hated when I've seen lynchings and dogs chewing on people and slave ships full of slaves and people being beaten with whips and put on auction blocks and sold as alligator bait, and the babies used as bait for alligators, and women's bellies cut open and the baby's head stumped and gushed open, and women thrown over the balcony hung by her neck and lied on, and people beaten for lies and put in jail for lies and put in jail for the color of their skin, and segregation and Jim Crow laws and lynch laws. And you guys really want to continue with this? I shouldn't be able to rattle off that much hatred against the people. I shouldn't be able to, but I am. And the list can continue to go on and 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 on. And you guys know that. So I'm not making anything up. That's why Abba chose this to give it to you. He chooses what does it say about things of the earth he chooses? The weak things. Who are the weakest people that don't have a nation, that don't have a flag, that don't have a name other than the names other people give them? That's pretty weak if you let somebody call your people a name that they come up with. Black. Oh yeah, black power. We're black. Black don't mean nothing good, so why is you calling yourself that? Because you don't know the truth. You're led about letting men be true and letting God be a liar to you. You don't let God tell you the truth of the matter, which is the better thing for you. If you were wise, you would choose what Abba said, but you don't. You're unwise, so you choose what men say. In other words, what the fleshly mind tells you, you are. See? Instead of what the spiritual mind tells you that you are. You are much more. That's what the scripture says. You don't even know what you are. It has not yet been revealed what you are. But when you are revealed for what you are, you shall see him as he is. Why? Because you shall be as him. It's very clear about that. So then why not walk like him now? By faith. Instead of waiting until I can see it with my eyes and then say, okay, yeah, now I believe I'm like Yahusha because look at all this power coming off me. What? He said the power come in you, from within you. That's what he said. So let me act like it right now, by faith. I'm free. Well, I'm walking around right now at my own will doing this. And then when I say my own will, which means no one can stop me from doing what I'm doing right now because I'm held down by some other schedule. That's what I mean. I don't mean I'm doing this of my own will because I'm doing this by the will of the Father. You understand what I'm saying? But I mean no man can prevent me. No circumstance can prevent me because I'm free to do what I love. But what do I love more than taking care of the little flock? Nothing. I'm proving it to you. I'm proving it to you. The good shepherd give his life up for his flock. So whatever thoughts I had for living a good life, having plenty of women, living, drinking the best shit every day, living in the highest loft I could possibly stand up in, looking down on the earth and everything with a perfect view and doing all the best parties and having the best jewelry and everything a man seek after. Does it look like I'm seeking after that? Or look where I'm at, guys. Okay, then. Because I know the truth of the matter. That looks are deceiving. I know that. I proved it when the nigga said, you got cuffs on you, man. What do you mean you're free? Okay, how about you try it? Instead of thinking it don't work for me, how about you try it for you and see if it works? That's the kind of confidence I have in this truth that I'm telling you guys about. If you persist in what you think and feel in your heart, it will be. It doesn't matter what the circumstance looks like. Yahushua proved that on the water. He proved it. You only doubt because of the circumstance. I'll prove it with Peter. Yahushua's walking because he doesn't doubt. Because anything done with doubt or without faith is sin. That means you're going to sink when you start doubting. And you're only going to doubt because of a stimulation of a 3D circumstance. Let's see. Peter's walking on the water going to Yahushua, but then as soon as the wind and the waves kicked up, he started sinking. How come he didn't sink before the wind and the waves kicked up? Because feelings are persuaded by outside stimulation. I told y'all that. I told you that. So in other words, Peter, look at the handcuffs, man. You're in jail. Oh, shit, I am. You start to sink into the solidified version of you being locked up. But this cannot hold me. It cannot solidify because I won't allow it to. I stay on the end, which is I'm sitting there chilling at the crib saying, what's up, witness? Didn't I tell you I was going to do this? Didn't I tell you I am strong? Didn't I? Didn't I prove it to you? Why would I make a phone call or write a letter or ask for help or petition for an attorney or do anything when I'm free. Free men don't have to do that. So then I didn't. But yet I'm free as a bird with charges dropped, just like I said they were. And you guys are telling me that ain't something to go, that ain't good news to tell my brother who's locked up? Are y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy? Brother, listen to me. You're worried, aren't you? Y'all ain't got to tell me because I was there talking to the guys. You're worried, aren't you? Men be crying, grown men crying. Yeah, man, because I've done this and I did this and I did that and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So yeah, man, I'm looking at this much time and I'm not gonna be able to see my kids and I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? I'm saying I am free. I'm not saying I'm not gonna see my kids. I'm gonna be locked up for a long time. You don't hear me saying that. Now the same man that I'm saying this to watched me walk out. Now, to even dig this truth in even deeper and show you the power of it, he got some good news while he was in there, and his out date was sped up. I wonder why that happened, guys. So when he got his little out date, it said April 1st. Now, it was like March 28th or something like that. March 27th or something like that when I got out. I can't remember, but it was the end of March when I got out. So it was a few days before his out date. Now, I had no out date. Remember, guys? I didn't have an out date. I'm just sitting. Well, he has one printed on a piece of paper and he showed it to me. He said, I get out on the 1st. I'm like, see, I told you it wasn't going to be long, man. You out of here. Told you. And so he's all happy showing me and everything. Well, I got out before he did. And he's asking me, like, when are you going to get out? I'm like, I'm free. I'm already out, brother. I'm just here manifesting in front of you to help you get out. That's the only reason I'm here. I'll share something else with you guys. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it right now just to show you guys how it is when you're on the frequency. One day I'm laying in the cell. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 or something like that. But it's all quiet because everybody's asleep for the most part. All the cell doors are closed. Well, I hear this buzz. My cell door opens. And then on the little microphone there, little speaker there on the wall, I hear the CO down there say, hey, come out to the, whatever you call it, the what they call that? The thing to walk out, when you walk out there, like the little overlook balcony, whatever you want to call it. He's like, come out, step out there. So I come out and I see him down there. He's like, hey, man, the preacher's down here. He's going to start church here in a minute. Did you want to join? I'm like, oh, no, thanks. He's like, you sure? You don't want to join? I said, no, thank you. And he put me back on my cell, closed the door. How come he only opened my cell door and asked me that, guys? He didn't ask anybody else, nor did he open anybody else's cell doors. He opened mine specifically and asked me, do I want to come down and join? Why do you think he did that? Oh, boy. Because of what I was doing the whole time I was in there. They're seeing me every day, and they're seeing me on rec, sitting out there preaching to the brothers every single day. Because that's all I did the whole time I was in there. Because blessed is the man who he finds doing. See? I'm doing what I'm doing right now while I'm in there. I'm a free man right now, and I'm doing it. I'm doing exactly what I was doing right now. What I'm doing right now, I was doing in there. Exactly. No difference. So do you understand what he means by blessed is the man who we find doing that wise and faithful servant who's doing it? Who's doing what? Doing the thing that matches the manifestation he wants. The joy he has. What would you be doing if you were exactly who you want to be? What would you do? How would you act? And then see, people that have never heard this, they'll start to realize, wait a minute, you're right, grandson. I have thought negatively about my circumstances. I have thought lack thoughts. I have thought I can't do it thoughts. I have been thinking that about my circumstances. Well, no wonder why I've never had the thing I desire. That's right. You didn't put your arm up and say, I am strong. Strengthen the feeble knees. Lift up the weary hands that have been beaten down. Lift them up to heaven and rejoice for what you got. I am free. See, because if I'm thinking about me, then I can't help my brother there. who witnessed me say, he said he ran to me and hugged me and said, "You got out before I did, man. You didn't even have an out date." I said, "Do you see? Do you see the power I'm describing to you? Sayonara. See you guys on the flip side." Walked right on up out of there. Do you see it today, little flock, or do you? There was another guy, hardly spoke any English. He was from a little island called Micronesia. If you wonder how small it is, it's called Micro. You hear that? Micronesia, that's where he was from. And this guy, self-proclaimed alcoholic, drunk a lot, had a whole bunch of DUIs. He had like 3 or 4 DUIs. He had 3 DUIs, I believe. This was his third one. He was locked in jail for that. This was my bunkie in there, see? And he's coming to me and he has all this broken English. And he's basically saying, "I'm going to go to jail for a long time because this is my 3rd time, man. Uh-oh, this is my 3rd time." He just kept saying that. They tell me 3rd time, man, you don't get no break, man. They're going to tear me up for this, man. I lose my business. I lose my job. I lose my money. He's doing all this. I'm just looking, wow. I said, "Hey, man, let me see your paper." I'm looking at it. I can see all, 3rd DUI, all this other stuff, right? I said, "Well, when do you go to court?" He tells me. I said, "Oh, don't worry about it, man." I said, "You're going to get good news. You're going home." He says, "Really? No, man, it can't be." I said, "Yeah, you're going home, man. Don't you worry about it. It's no big deal, man. It's a slap on the wrist. They're going to let you go home. It's not a big deal." That guy went on to court, came on back, and was released 3 days later. He was so happy about it, he gave me his commissary. You hear that today? He was like, "Hey, man, I'm out of here, man. Here, you can have this." He gave me his commissary. You hear me, little flock? So you see how it worked? You just tell the truth. Your guys are free, man. You're only held down by your own thoughts. You're proving it. "I'm going to go to jail. I'm not going to get out. I'm not." You're proving it. That's fear. That's fear. I'm not led by fear. And that's why you all are gravitating to me. One guy kissing all on my hand, crying, "Please, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you." Hey, man, that's how you feel. Just keeping it real. So I'm not doing anything different now because that's what I'm going to be doing regardless of how I feel. Don't you see it, little flock? Okay, let me see. The woman goes into labor and she feels like, "Oh, it's okay. Okay, I can handle this." The first contractions hit. Yeah, all right. Because she's been being prepared for labor with Braxton Hicks contractions. They've been preparing her for that tightness and that feeling. So she's kind of used to it. Okay, yeah, I can take that. But then suddenly, travail takes hold of her. Travail is a different type of the labor. It's a different watch. I don't know if you guys can hear me today. It's a different watch. In other words, the nurses and the midwives, when she first goes into labor, they watch her a certain type of way because it's not intense. It's nothing really going on. She can move and dance and sing and talk and do everything in the beginning part of labor. But then it's a certain time when it gets very intense. And when it gets very intense, they have to watch her more intently. Not less intently because it's more intense and go, "Oh my God, why is it so scary? Why is she screaming like that? Oh, what are we supposed to do? Maybe we're supposed to do this, maybe that, maybe this. I don't get it." See, they don't do that. They actually become more serene because they know this is the time to be so. They are more supportive during the travail part of the labor than they are at any other time. Do you hear it today, little flock, or do you not? The husband is most supportive when it's the hardest. He's not most fearful during that time. He's the most loving during that time. He's the most tender toward his wife during that time. Isn't it obvious to see it? During what time? The hardest time. The most travail, right before she pushes the baby out. Don't you see it? So then what does that mean for you in your life? Look at the beauty of what Abba has done for the little flock. He's making it clear for you all. What does that mean for you on a daily basis? That means whatever your desire is, and I like to use examples so we can pinpoint how the power works. Let's say it's a new car. Right before the new car is coming into your life, travail is going to take hold of you. And when that travail takes hold of you, that's when the thief there is waiting to steal the car from you. So then what do you think is the travail that would steal the car from you? I don't have a car because I don't have enough money to afford the car. I just I just can't have it. I can't have it. It's the woman saying, I can't do this. It's just too much. I can't I can't do it. She cries. She feels like she can't do it. I've seen it with my own eyes too many times. Every woman feels that feeling before she does it. She feels that she can't. Why does she feel she can't right before she has the baby holding it? Why does she feel like she can't? Because that's when the thief comes to try to make her feel that she can't. Well, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. So get your I can ass right on out of here. See how that works when you get that zeal up in you? When you get that fight up in you and you're not willing to be knocked down without getting your knockdown back. That damn simple, nigga. I'm getting it back in blood. Whatever you took from me, I'm taking from you double, nigga. That's zeal. And I got plenty of it, as you can see. It come out of me purely because it's purely there. I don't have to make it up. I don't have to act like I love Abba. I just do. So then I can't hide it. My heart is filled with my love and awe for my father, for my husband, for my man, for my king, for my God, my savior, for my everything. I don't lean into my own understanding in any circumstance, because if I did, I'd fail myself. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to lean on what it looked like when I don't have to? When it's better not to, when it's more wise not to. Why not do the wise thing if I call myself wise? Why not? You're telling me it's wise to be the fearful man on the boat? You're the leader of the boat, telling all the crew, we're all going to die, guys. Oh, shit, man. That's the captain that we want to look to. Or is the captain the one saying, we're safe, men. Don't you fret. We know exactly what we're doing. Shit, we are seamen. This is what we made for, to conquer over storms. That's what we do. That's the kind of captain you want. Zeal, passion, love. See? So yeah, we be soldiers, and that's the good fight of faith that we're fighting. For that internal place, to not let it be swayed, to not let your mind go this way and that way. Yahushua said, don't do it. Don't go to the left hand or the right. If you keep your eye on your manifestation, on your son, then you shall hold him in your arms. What son do you have today that you want? Huh? What is it? Tell Abba what it is and tell him the truth. And then by faith, claim it and believe it and walk in it every single day. And my baby took 37 days when I was in that prison. It took 37 days to manifest. Okay. They told me it would be at least 90. So they lied. See how they just don't know nothing? If they were wrong, then who was the one that was right? Because they were wrong. So then who was right? He who within me is. Proved it to you, little flock. Proved it to you. He who within me conquers over every 3D circumstance. I just have to, by faith, do it. So that when he find me doing what matches me in the kingdom. Oh, man. So if I'm in the kingdom and I happen to see somebody who lack, I'm going to feel that lack instantly, because that's what we do in the kingdom. We don't allow anything that offend to be there. So we instantly perfect it. It's just the way that it is. So if you find me doing that with a broken heart, because that's all I'm sent to do. I told you, I'm the king of hearts. That's who I am. That's why I'm speaking to the heart the way that I am. I'm not speaking to what you do with your 3D life. I don't care about that. What I care is what you do with that heart. You see that there? That's how come I know about how it works. And I'm telling you how it works. That's why. That's why I got much zeal and passion. Captain of the ship. Like I told you that. Or else I couldn't have nothing to say about this thing I'm talking about right now. And I couldn't explain it to you in the way that I am. I wouldn't be able to. It's just that simple. But since I am, then I'm doing it. And if you find me doing this, you think he's going to be mad at me? Grandson, what are you doing right now? Huh? Talking to the little flock. In case you was interrupting. Oh, Yahushua, I know that was you. I'm talking to the little flock. You feel what I'm saying? I'm giving them meat in due season. Do you see how it's right there in everything that I'm saying right there in that scripture? That's the doing. Giving them meat in due season. Who needs the meat? The little flock do. They need to be fed. That's why he said, if you love me, then what will you do? He said it 3 times, guys. You should at least be able to say it once. If you love me, then you'll do what? It has to do with giving somebody something to eat. See, little flocky? That's the doing. So that's why I do it every day. If he allowed me to, that's what I do. Because I want him to find me doing. A preacher of righteousness, that's what he does. Well, then why would I stop? I would only stop because I'm thinking about my personal circumstances. Okay, wait a second. What am I going to eat today? I haven't even eaten today yet. What am I going to eat? Oh God, what am I going to put on? What am I going to wear? See how easy it is for me to decide? I don't care about it. That's why it's easy for me to decide. Take no thought of what you shall eat or drink, but seek ye first the kingdom. Well, what would you be doing? I'm a preacher of righteousness. So then that's what I do. So then that's what I'm doing. I'm not stopping doing it because of the 3D lie. No. I'm triumphing over it. I'm overing this temporary existence to be who I would be in the end. Because I stand the end because he told me to. Ooh, boy. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, boy. Well, little flock, the mystery of when the thief and what watch he comes has been revealed to you. So now, if the good man knows in what watch the thief was coming, he would not suffer his house to be broken up. So now, as soon as the travail hits you, watch this. You're the woman on the bed giving birth. I don't care if you're male or female listening to this. Understand the principle, because there is no male or female in the kingdom. See? So you're the woman laying on the bed, preparing to give birth. And as it gets more intense, that travail hits you. Now that means the baby's coming. It's time to push. You see? It's time to push. That's the fight. Now, right in that moment, that's when the woman goes, I can't. I'm so tired. I can't do it. That's you. See? You're tired. You've been hanging on to this. Like I said, for me, it was 37 days. What if in the 32nd day, I just gave out? I said, man, I'm tired of doing this every day. It ain't going to work. What if I did that? Probably wouldn't have gotten out. I probably wouldn't hold my child. Do you get the point of what I'm saying? Because I won't push. Because I don't think I can. But if I've already done it, then I'm just going through the motions that took me to the place I'm at. I must have did it because I'm holding my child. I must have done what it took. Can you hear that wisdom? So I'm putting my clothes on. I used that same principle when I was locked up. See? I'm putting my clothes on right now. So then they must have released me. Don't you get it? Don't you see how it's wise what I did? If I'm putting my clothes on, then I must have took the county clothes off, which means I'm released. So then I'll just do that every day in my mind by faith. And I'll feel as though I'm doing it. I'll feel that feeling walking out saying, see ya. And so what do you think I felt when I was in there putting my clothes on, guys? It's called duping delight. That means a satisfaction that only you got for yourself, because only you know what's going on. Everybody else just thinks it's happening. You actually know how it's happening. Because it's called manifestation. Somebody manifested it. It was you. So if you persist in your faith, then you're going to have the desire of your heart. And nothing can stop it. You just got to persist. Shit, that was what Abraham was teaching us, guys. Why do you think it was about him having faith that pleased Abba? And he persisted even though he got old. And all his 3D circumstances spoke against the reality of what he actually had, which was his child. So that's what makes us his child, that mindset, that unadulterated belief in what Abba has told us. That's what it is. It's childlike faith. I believe him. He said it and I believe him. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, okay. But he said it. So then it must be. See what I mean about ornery? You're ornery to the rebellious children. That's all it is. But do you see it, little flock? So that's when he comes. Right when you're about to get the blessing. Hey, you can't do it. You can't do it. because I asked a woman recently. Matter of fact, it was today I asked her. I said, when you were giving birth to your child, what? I said, when the travail hits, when it gets very difficult and it gets to that point where you're about to have that baby. I said, what's the thought that you have? And she said, the thought is, I can't do this by myself. So then am I just lying? Or am I telling you what I know from personal experience? She said, I can't do this on my own. And I said, so how did you counter that thought? She said, I knew that I was never alone. So I knew that that lie was coming from the thief who has enmity with my seed and don't want me to bear my seed. Now I paraphrased in my own little way there. But what she said was, I had to say, I'm never alone. I am supported. You see, which she was. So I am doing it. And she did do it. Oh boy. So do you see, little flock? Do you see it? The thief cometh not, the enemy cometh not, but to steal, kill, or destroy. Now, before I end this message, I'll say one last little thing. What moment, when you don't have anything, does a thief come to steal? Would he come to steal from you if you didn't have anything? So then you must have something in order for him to come to you. So then why are you doubting that you have it? The fact that he's coming to steal something proves that there's something you got. And he wouldn't be there to steal it if you didn't already have it. Thieves come to steal treasures, brother. You hear that? That's why he said don't stack up treasures on earth where thieves break through and steal. See, a thief is going to break through and steal something that's valuable in there. But if you don't have nothing valuable in there, he ain't coming and steal it. So then why is that thief coming in your life? Obviously because you got something valuable, something worth stealing, and you right about to get it. And so that's when he shows up. So that's when you need to be on watch, like those nurses and those midwives. And on watch doesn't mean, okay, the baby's coming. It's not what they do. They go, okay, sister, you're okay. Just breathe. They're actually fighting for the calmness. Can you guys hear this? That's what you're doing. See how I put my arm up like this? To say I'm calm. That's why I put my hoodie on and laid back. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's time to be calm. Not paranoid and stressful because they put the chains on you. It's time to remain calm as a free man stays. It's time to stay free. Even more so because the thief is coming. Do you see it? Do you see it? So the nurses go, okay, sister, you got this. You're safe. Breathe. Just relax. Breathe, girl. Just relax. She goes to another contraction. And when the contraction's over, okay, get your rest. You got 1 minute. Rest, girl. Get this rest. Breathe. You're doing beautiful. Your baby about to be here. Your baby about to be here, girl. You good. See, that's what you're doing. You don't do that in the beginning. It's too much. She don't need all that. She needs it during the travail because that's when she's the weakest. So that's when the weak man needs to say, I am strong. Like the woman said, I am not alone. I am supported. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Guys. Oh, boy. I'll get that message today. So you know when to be on watch now so that your house will not be broken up and you will get the desire. Because if the baby is stillborn or something wrong with it, then the house will be broken up. The mother and the father may divorce. They have strain in their relationship now. You see? And it was all because the woman wasn't supported and comforted and calm and serene and have died to her feelings and have allowed the process to take its course because she knows God has made it available and able. Not by her own might. See? Not by power nor by might, but by my spirit, says the Lord. So that's where the power is. That's where the might is. That's where the strength is. That's where I'm is. That's where I'm at, y'all. Where are you? Silwan Mr. Allah.